Blog Talk Radio.
Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Fan assassinator! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! A damn shot straight to your brain! Straight to your skull crack! You get down to straight to your brain! Straight to your skull crack! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! I will fly high! 5-star broad blast! You can't stop me! 5-star broad blast! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! It's all about the yin and the yang, the balance of power and then. You can't stop the yin and the yang, the balance of power and then. Drop it down! The whole fucking show! Drop it down! The whole fucking show! I will levitate, flip, kick you in the air. I will decimate, you can prepare for. Drop it down, the whole fucking show. Drop it down, the whole fucking show. Drop it down! The whole fucking show! Drop it down! The whole fucking show! Drop it down! The whole fucking show! Drop it down! The whole fucking show!
This is Rob Van Dam, the whole fucking show. Happy February the 25th, 2009, everybody. There's never been a February 25th, 2009 before. So it is what you make of it. Make the most of it. Just in case you think maybe you've heard me say that before, I have never, ever said those words before. Because there's never been a February 25th, 2009. And I realize that most of you, or a good percentage of you, are not on the West Coast in California. Sorry, hate it for you. It's beautiful here. And it looks like it might be getting even more beautiful, and we're going to talk about that. But anyway, my point is, it's the end of the day for you. So you know what? Have a wonderful February 26th, 2009 on me and Sonia as well. Say hi, baby.
Hi, everybody.
SVD is in the house. We got, who knows who's going to call in? Who knows? You never know on this show who's going to call in for several reasons. But anyway, expecting to hear from a couple of important people. And we're going to talk about a bunch of shit. The topic for today to discuss that I want everyone to be thinking about, we wrote it down as coexisting. Here's why. Because I wanted really bad to do a Valentine's Day type episode on relationships. Because I am happily married to the most wonderful wife I could possibly find, and that has been the case for over 10 years. And I know that I am happier than any other guy that I know. And in that respect, I'm so content, and I feel like I have a lot to offer as far as advice and everything goes. However, it's past Valentine's Day, and not everybody can relate to the wonderful roses smell wonderful in the Van Damme world lifestyle, but that's what you got to learn how to do. And we're going to say coexist because it's not just about working on a successful love life, but it's relationships to anybody. You relating to another person is a relationship anyway. And I want to talk about that from a few different angles because that's how we do it here on RVD Radio. I want to hear from Harry Slash in New York, who can tell us and maybe help me understand the existence, the coexisting that goes on between New Yorkers, because I know that they have a pride to be in New York and they have to love each other for it and stuff, but when I'm there, I think they are some of the rudest people, and I don't mean they're offending me, but they're like that to each other, and they expect it, and that's part of their culture, you know. They pull up at the traffic light, and they'll roll down their window for directions, you know, and shout at a cabbie, "Hey, 25th and Main."
You talking about New Yorkers?
Yeah, I'm talking about New Yorkers, how they relate to each other, you know. And then the guy's not going to be like, "Well, fuck you." He's going to look, and it's going to be, turn right at 31st, go down 8 blocks, whatever. And then the guy, they nod. Okay, because if you miss the nod, there's almost like no sign of acknowledgement, like, "Hey, thanks for going out of your way to give me the fucking directions," after you roll your window down in the 15 below zero weather and let the snow in. But I guess they have their own way. They do their own thing. So that's relating. That's coexisting. There he is. Harry Slash is online, and we're going to go to him in a second after my wordy intro that I like to do. My monologue. Like the Incredibles. Oh, I can't believe you caught me monologuing. All right. It's nothing like that, penis breath. Hey, I want that soundbite from AT, by the way. I don't know how to get that, but I love that. Anyway, coexisting sounds mundane. It sounds effortless. It sounds like, well, basically we're just coexisting. In other words, we're not putting much effort towards each other. We're basically both just living at the same time and respecting each other's space. Whatever. That's only one meaning of it. Everybody coexists because we're all in existence. So, coming from RVD's perspective, I'm going to tell you to quit hating on each other. Nikki, quit throwing the shoe at the TV when you see Octomom. Quit hating. People hate each other, and I think I'm pretty good at not doing that. You know, you hear it. You hear the callers call in and say they don't know what they're going to say, and you see how cool I make them feel, treat them like they're people. You know why? Because I'm a people, they're a people. Wouldn't you like to be a people too? We're existing together. We are co-inhabitants of the earth. And out of respect for that, you know, a lot of people like to look at each other as brothers, as sisters. That's cool. You know, what's up, bro? I do that too. Justin McCauley from UFC will be calling in a few minutes too. We probably got to text him the number, baby. JMC.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, he's really good at that. That's one thing. Like, people that really, really know Justin, they kind of, like, have to love him, this energy that he puts out. It's positive.
It took me a while. He had to grow on me like a fungus.
Yeah, they have political...
Not just political.
Inconsistent views. No?
We have personality clashes. Well, we had. We've both grown up quite a bit.
That's true. That's very true. He's real good though at you know, it just like exuding like a mutual respect for other people. I remember we were riding our bikes on the bike path, and some dude comes skating towards us and did like I don't know what the hell you call it, a power slide, and he fell off, you know, jumped off his skateboard because of the momentum, boom, and he just stood there with his back towards us in the bike path. And of course we had to lock on our brakes to avoid hitting him, you know. And a lot of people, you know, would be like, "Hey, what the fuck?" I get people that flip me off all the time. Like, don't they know I would pull their fucking head off, and it would be the last thing they do if they piss me off? Huh? Yeah, but they do sometimes. Sometimes people get so anal because like you have to go into the incoming lane to pass to go around the lane that you're in. Everybody knows that, but some people go stay in your own lane. And it's like it's what they live for, you know. But anyway, since I don't kill those people, but could. Justin's good like that. Someone just get wham, like he right in front of us, you know, and Justin's just like, bro, man, he just said like he just said something, you know, like, man, dude was in the zone, wasn't he? And he turned it into this positive, you know, like, hey, good for you, you were in the zone, man, all right. He's real good at that, and he's rubbed off on me, and he has helped me grow in that manner too. So I'm looking forward to him calling in. Holy cow, so that's our subject. We're talking about how we coexist, what we do, how we relate, how we get through life. We all do it differently. You know, RVD is going to say, be cool, because RVD is the coolest. And besides that, there are so many things in the news I'm going to touch on real quick because I want to get some people's opinions. You guys watch Obama's speech last night?
Yay!
Obama. I am tired of the Obama haters getting together. Pass this email to 100 people or you don't love your country. Obama loves terrorists. I'm so sick of all that shit. So sick of that. Obama talked about so many changes yesterday that he's going to do. Obviously, he was trying to give hope because people are getting depressed and killing themselves because of our fucked up economy. And Obama knows that, you know, that's going back to that coexisting. He wants people to have hope and be optimistic because that's what it takes. The law of attraction tells you when you vibrate at that speed, positive things happen. So as soon as everybody starts really being hopeful and believing, then the economy is going to come back up, no doubt about it. And that's when you cash in and start buying all the real estate that you can pick up for super dirt cheap right now. Obama has pledged to stop arresting marijuana patients. Yes, we're going to talk about this real quick. If you don't know, this is huge, huge fucking news right now. This gentleman, representative from San Francisco out here in California, Tom Amiano, is in Sacramento, our state capital, with a plan to increase our budget. He wants to legalize marijuana for people 21 years and over. This is a brilliant plan. It was tried in Vegas a couple of years ago and barely lost by a small percentage of votes. I believe if this goes to a vote here in California, I think it'll go through. I believe it's got the best chance ever. In fact, I saw it on the news, and then I saw Jay Leno made a reference to it. Chris Masturbator, who will be calling in shortly, if he's not already one of the callers on hold, he said he heard it on the radio, and he was talking to me about some numbers that he heard that were pretty impressive. So it's getting a lot of attention. The country's fucked up. Marijuana, it's not such a dirty thing to talk about anymore. When I started talking about it, a lot of you people were like, oh, my God, yeah, I like RVD, but I just wish you wouldn't talk about that pot. Well, guess what? It's getting to be less and less of a dirty, nasty, hidden thing to talk about, less snickering and more serious, look, let's fucking look at it. The facts are there. So many people told me that before they saw me on Geraldo, they didn't know no one's ever died from marijuana poisoning. Well, hell, that's a hell of a thing that people should know, isn't it? If you're going to say it's the most dangerous fucking drug we have in the country, shouldn't people know if no one has ever fucking died, if it's not even possible to die from it? So Mr. Tom Amiano says if we tax it here in California, we can raise at least $1 billion. And he has no idea because so many more people would smoke probably than do already if they were not in fear. However, the federal government at this point can still come in and override that until Obama appoints his new DEA. But shit is lined up. All right? Speaking of which, as you all know, Michael Phelps got busted with that photograph of him in the smokeless water pipe. Kellogg's has dropped their endorsement of him. Nobody else. Everyone else kept their endorsement. And, you know, I said on Geraldo, yeah, that's their decision. It's based on ignorance, but it's a business decision. Now, Kellogg's is, you know, also from Battle Creek, Michigan, just like RVD, is disappointing to me in such a way that they want to keep people in the dark, and that tells me they're on the same plan as corporate America. Corporate America wants us to smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol, and until we die, and then spend all our money in the hospital and in the pharmaceuticals. That's what they want. Kellogg's obviously is on the same bandwagon. Michael Phelps had a DUI. They didn't give a shit. Alcohol's cool. It only kills 150,000 Americans a year, not counting car crashes and shit. No, that's cool because corporate America wants that because they profit from it. But he gets caught with a water pipe, smokeless, insinuating that he's connected to marijuana, the reefer madness monster, and they want to drop him. They want to keep people in the dark. They want to keep people drinking and smoking cigarettes. I've decided that I'm joining the boycott. Officer X told me earlier he was listening to Howard Stern, who was talking about boycotting Kellogg's. The Marijuana Policy Project has been encouraging that for the last couple of weeks. On a personal level, I kind of quit on my own. I kind of, I'm not gonna support Kellogg's now, and I'm also decided, I'm gonna tell you people that I'm doing this too, and it's up to you, it's up to everybody else, but so you know, I'm done with that. I'm done with saying fuck them. If they are gonna stop us from making changes in the way of truth and education, because they want to keep us in the dark, they don't want to put anything into finding out about something like the evil plant. Fuck them. Fuck.
Really, we're boycotting Kellogg's?
Yes, baby. Fuck Kellogg's.
Well, you got to tell me if you're going to boycott something like that, because I'm the one that does the grocery shopping.
Yeah, you know what? I decided today, I didn't know if I wanted to officially get behind it, but this is why, and it's up to everyone else. But for Kellogg's deciding that they aren't going to, they want to stand for corporate America. They want to say, ooh, marijuana evil, alcohol good. Fuck them.
No, I agree. I totally agree. I'm just saying, if you're going to boycott some food product, me being the grocery shopper in the house, you need to tell me before I find out on RVD Radio.
Right. Well, it's 18 minutes past the hour. I suppose it's time to go to some callers. People are probably sick of hearing RVD rant and rave. And so I'm going to go to Harry Slash in New York, who I already mentioned, who's out there coexisting with the New Yorkers.
Yo, what's happening?
How are you tonight, Harry Slizash?
All good, all good. I thought the topic was going to be about the duality of man when you said it was coexisting. I didn't know you were going with the route you were going. But it's still
yeah, you know what? Like, as you know Sonia and I personally on a really close level. You lucky motherfucker.
Yeah.
And, that Sonia and I are very happy, and we have been since we first met. We've really done some things right, and I can't tell everybody that there's magic out there for them, but I think that I'm qualified to give a lot of advice. A lot of wrestlers come up to me and ask me questions about, helping them with concerns they have with their relationships and stuff. I wanted to talk about that, and we kind of missed it through Valentine's Day, and so I want to make it more general, more broad. Like you guys in New York, you don't seem very cheery a lot of times to each other. I don't think it's as bad as Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, Sonia is actually offended. Like when we're at the restaurant, and the waitress will come over, and she's like, "You want more water?" We're like, no thank you, and then she just turns and walks away. So I'd be like, oh, is it just me or is she a bitch? I'm like, no, baby, that's how, okay, she said rude. I say bitch, so I was lost in translation. And that's just the way that they are, and I understand that. I'm not like that. I can't imagine being like that, but that's just, it's part of your culture. That's the way you exist, and you kind of like count on it being like that, don't you?
Here in New York?
Well, yeah, I mean, up there in the Northeast in those cold fucking states, I mean, you...
I dare say Boston as well.
Okay, we'll throw Boston in there as well. There's a certain hidden love that you must have for each other that we West Coasters don't see.
You know what it is? It's, if you look at it like this, Los Angeles is like New York City, but spread over like a whole lot more miles. New York is just so compressed, so compact, that rudeness almost becomes accepted to a certain degree, but by the same point, if something goes down, New Yorkers will be the first ones to jump in and help you. So other than the geographical difference of us being a little bit more hustle and bustle and the West Coast being a little bit more laid back, people are people. You're going to get the good and the bad no matter what part of the planet you're on.
Right, but I get the impression that, like, if I lived in New York City or anywhere close to there, I would have to get used to stress being a much bigger part of my day. People seem like they're shitty weather, shitty conditions, you know, walking several blocks to work and back because you can't drive. You got to step over the sewage grates while all the steam's coming up and smells, and you step over homeless people, and they say, "Can I have $1?" and you say, "Fuck you." And I mean, that seems to be I might be wrong, but it seems like to me that's kind of the New York coexisting fucking you know, like morale, or it's your code. I might have it wrong, but I mean, if you come out here, you know, you're out here and people are like, hey, brother, man, can I get you something to drink? All right, dude, hey, let me get you something to sit down, bro. Take a load off your feet. What's up? I mean, you probably think we're crazy.
Well, you know, again, I think it's just a geographical thing that we're all so compressed together here that you don't have time to be polite, but that doesn't go for everybody. Like, I say please and thank you to anybody I deal with because I was just brought up that way.
Right on. Well, I can relate to you there, man. I'll get back to you after a while, Harry. I'm going to go to one of my good friends and scheduled guests, Mr. Joe McDonnel.
What's up, dude?
Hey, man, thanks for calling in. How you doing tonight?
Doing good, just navigating the crowded ways of Southern California, but what you were talking about New York and not being able to drive, that's what would kill me if I lived in a place like that, because my driving time is like my private meditation. I don't have to talk to anybody. I can listen to music and think about what I want to think about. Nobody can bother me.
Right, that's how I felt when I was on the road with WWE, because I was with all the same guys in the arena, on the fucking airplane, in the gyms, and yeah, when I would get off and rent my car and drive away, that was my time. And yeah, in New York City, that's part of the thing. We're just talking about how people exist with each other and the relationships they have, how they treat each other. You know, I'm a big advocate for positive energy. I try to exude positive energy, and it means a lot to me when people tell me that that I strike them that way. When they say, "Wow, Rob, you know, you just have a way of like motivating people. You make them, you inspire people." I mean, that gives me energy. You know, like I'm pumping them up, and then they're pumping me up by telling me about it. And that's how we're coexisting. We share energy and compliments, and we help people get ahead and be happy that way. That's part of my practiced life, you know, since really getting into spirituality. Not everybody's that way. Not everybody's that way at all. You know what I mean? Some people live to hate, and they can't wait to hate on somebody.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And, you know, it's not only on the East, kind of anywhere you go. And my wife and I went on a trip back in September, and in different parts of the country you would run into, you know, you would find who just hated it there, hated everybody there. Go to another place where, you know, they wouldn't move if somebody gave them $1 million. I think it's just how you're brought up. I mean, I was born in Philadelphia, and we left. I was about 2.5 years old. I've been back a few times, and I can tell you this, I would probably be a lot different person. I lived back there because everybody seems to everybody all the time, no matter winter, spring, summer, fall, whatever. They're assholes.
Yeah, for sure. You know, one thing that really gets me is people in traffic when they can't wait to hate on somebody, or not even just traffic, but that's one of the times when they feel like it's their right. You get in front of somebody because you got to change lanes, and it's a little closer than they want, so they try and speed up a little bit to close that gap so that you can't make it in so they can fuck you, but you go over anyway and you make it, and they stick their finger out the window, fuck you. Mostly, they're not even thinking ahead. They're not even thinking, wow, I'm going to get out and kick this guy's ass, which could happen. They're just thinking, I have the right, fuck this person for shitting on my day, and it's something that, like, really, it bothers me because it's like something that you have to go deep inside and kind of rewire people to not think that way. It bothers me because it's like a subliminal hatred that exists right under the front layer, just waiting to come out, and it bothers me that people can live their whole life like that and then wonder why they have so much miserable shit coming to them.
It is. And, you know, one thing I've learned is that, you know, you have to let go of all that poison you. And I had a time in my life I couldn't let go with a lot of that stuff. And it did. It poisoned you, gets you to be a miserable human being. And when you finally let go of it and just kind of occupy your own space, it's a lot better. You don't have to worry about what other people do. If somebody, oh, they cut me off, so what? I drive in traffic almost every day, as you do as well, living out here. And it's not fun, but you deal with it. But you go back, people. If somebody steps in front of a cab in New York, you're lucky. From what I've heard, you're lucky the guy just doesn't hit you.
Yeah, no kidding about it. By the way, I drive like I'm in New York City everywhere I go, and I don't mind using the sidewalk too if that's how I get around somebody.
He's not kidding. He is so not.
Yeah, but so Joe, a married man like myself, if you don't treat people in a certain way, you sure are going to have a hard time finding somebody that wants to stay with you and coexist for the rest of their lives with you. I mean, when you do that, you kind of have to know what you're doing. You have to find somebody that's the perfect match for you, and that is different. We're all wired different. Some people like to be treated a little bit meaner. Some people, some girls go for bad boys. Some boys, whatever. But you got to find that perfect someone for you. And obviously, for me and Sonia, we're both happy, positive people. We both are on the same, we treat each other like that. We don't fight that much. When we do fight, every once in a great while, if we fight to a point, where, say, I raise my voice or something, I think I'm such an asshole afterwards. I think about, wow, I lost my cool, and I grow from that, and I tell myself I'm not going to be that person anymore. I don't like me when I'm yelling, but a lot of people, that's just them. They yell all the time, like someone like fucking Gordon Ramsay. How the hell does he live? How does he live like that?
It's an interesting point because I grew up in an Italian household, and everybody's loud. And my dad was Irish and English. He was pretty reserved, and I got kind of the best. And my wife goes crazy because I won't argue with her a lot of times. Just like, look, I don't want to fight. I don't need the drama. I grew up with drama. I grew up with my mother and my grandmother and my aunts all screaming at each other in Italian. Didn't mean anything. Didn't mean they were angry with each other. That's just the way they grew up. I listened to that for, my formative years. I just want to be quiet. I don't care. I don't understand how you can be so cool and calm and not get up in these places. I said, because I don't want to.
I think that also has something. Joe, I think it also has something to do with your expectations. People, some people are just brought up to be a certain way, and part of that is to have really low expectations of life. Not always, but sometimes, and so therefore they're not surprised with what comes back to them, and they don't even want anything better than they think they deserve. I know a lot of people like that are pretty much sentenced to misery. If you got a few minutes, Joe, I got a bunch of calls, so I'm going to take a couple of them so they don't give up on me and hang out. I'm going to go to Officer X, my legal authority in Massachusetts. What's up, Officer X?
What's happening, my man? Good night. How's it going?
Good, man. Say hi to Joe McDonnel on the line.
Hey, Joe. How are you?
Good, X. How you doing?
Good, man.
Hey, by the way, Officer X, I have a friend that's thinking about, he's planning on becoming a police officer, and he's got, questions and stuff like that. Is it okay if I want to hook him up with you so he can text you or talk to you or something?
Yeah, give him my email.
Okay, cool. That's what I'll do, man. So, all right. So, shit, man, we're talking about a bunch of Joe, I don't know how much time you have. If you're trying to let me go, don't let me, talk over you.
No, I'm cool. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Officer X, we're talking about coexisting. We're talking to Harry Slash about New York and Philadelphia, and Sonia brought up Boston, too. Don't you think in Massachusetts, there's a certain way that people coexist, they share the same city, the same buses, whatever, but there's either, a hidden love that I don't see so much from the West Coast, and it's not really just regional, but it seems a lot to be more the majority of the case there. Or, is it like you're a good guy, you want to help people out, you have to know that you stand out as being different in that way. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's a lot of people wear different masks out this way. They're just not as genuinely as nice as they are on the West Coast. It's been my experience.
That's what I think too. And a lot of people, when they exist, they just they really don't give a fuck about each other so much. Which, okay, whatever. If you're just looking out for yourself, then we got to start asking, okay, is that greed? Which of the 7 sins are we really getting into? But Officer X, just like I do from reading the Celestine Prophecy, about giving energy, and about bringing your own energy up and keeping your energy up, and that becomes like a practice of going through the day. You and I text positive, inspirational messages to each other. That's part of our practice of keeping our energy up, and that's what we believe. That's what we want to motivate other people to do. That would be our message if we were on stage talking to people. That would be what we want to encourage them to do. A lot of people don't see it that way, and they totally have it different. They expect everyone else to just kind of be there, take them for granted. They don't give a shit about each other, or they're rude to each other. There's a lot of different ways, and I think a lot of people, when they call in, if they check themselves, they may find out a lot of them are those haters.
Yeah, but the positive way of life, it's almost like physical fitness. You got to work at it in the beginning, and you got to really believe in it, and you got to put your heart and soul into it, and it'll reap benefits. I mean, so many people are they're miserable because they want to be miserable. They don't put any effort into doing something nice, never say thank you, never say please. There's a real bad sense of entitlement with people today, which is awful. And I think the nicest people I ever met in the world was Hawaii. I absolutely love Hawaii. Those people could not be any kinder, more gentle, nice, friendly. I mean, I know you go there a lot, and
I love Hawaii. I love Hawaii. You're right. Everyone, just like aloha, bro. They just say everyone. They love you for being there and for loving their island. The locals, and they definitely the way that they coexist with each other is definitely a more positive, and it's a much happier experience being there. That's kind of our underlying topic to think about and talk about. But I want to get Joe's opinions on a couple of things. You didn't watch the Obama speech last night, Joe, because you were at the movies. I don't know if you did you get a chance to see any of it on YouTube? Or
I actually watched a little, but most of it online. And you know what I got out of it, Rob and X and Sonia? I just think that he decided to deliver a message of hope rather than, just throw all the numbers and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's what's going to happen. This is the year it's going to happen. He just said, look, we're the United States. We're going to come through this. Be hopeful. And that's what a guy in his position, I believe, had to do. I don't think you can sit there and lecture the audience. They don't give a shit. They just know that they've got somebody up there who cares and who's going to do it better than the last brain guy they had in there.
Yeah, he was talking about going through and cleaning up a bunch of their wasted money on resources that don't go anywhere. And I was really expecting, almost hoping anyway, that he would touch on the subject of the war on drugs, and if not, at least more specifically on the prohibition of marijuana, because we know his stance on that publicly is that he's going to leave it up to states to decide. So far, that's not the case. We still have to fear the federal guidelines until he makes those changes. This guy up in Sacramento, this Tom Amiano, that's trying to legalize marijuana for adults 21 years and over, he's got a great case going right now.
Well, look, anybody with any common sense who doesn't attach the word drug, marijuana, and equate it with heroin and cocaine and morphine and everything else, to look at something. Marijuana is less dangerous for you than drinking a bottle of Jack. It's not going to kill you. Nobody's ever died of an overdose of marijuana. It's for pain. If you're stupid enough to get behind the wheel of a car while you're high or while you're... I'd rather have a guy who's high than drunk. I'd rather have neither. If I had to pick one, I'd rather have a guy who's high because they're a little more aware of things than somebody who's slosh-ass drunk after drinking at a bar for 3 hours. It makes no sense that, I mean, there's no medicinal purpose for alcohol unless you say, okay, a glass of wine every for your heart. All right, that's it. But, marijuana can use many things. And not only that, Ross, what you and I talked about last night, millions and hundreds of millions and maybe even billions of dollars, if you legalized it in all 50 states, that you could bring in on taxes, oh my God, it would help this country beat the deficit, in a matter of probably a decade.
Yeah, it's and it's right now more than ever an actual possible situation. It's getting a lot of coverage right now, and they have to look at it. As fucked up as our country is, we're spending $7 billion nationally to fight it, and California alone would be estimated at bringing in $1 billion based on their statistics of current smokers, which you never know exactly. What we do know is that while marijuana has been outlawed for 70 years now, it is the largest cash crop in the country. And in California, definitely the largest cash crop. Chris Masters, who hopefully will be calling in a few minutes, was telling me that he heard on the radio some numbers that I hadn't heard. They said that marijuana brings in like $40 billion, they guesstimate, to California a year right now underground, and they compared that to vegetables, which bring in like $7 billion.
Well, the quickest way to get rid of dealers is to legalize drugs. I mean, let's face it, that's subject to a whole another time. But let's just say guys who are selling pot illegally, making all the money, they're probably not paying any taxes on it. How you made your money. And, the government is supposed to be smarter than we are, or at least we hope they're equally as smart as us. You win the war by getting rid of the people who are on the opposite side. The people who manufacture the drugs a lot of times aren't even in this country. We've been fighting this war for how long, Rob? For the last 30, 40 years when there's been a war on drugs? Well, you know what? This is the longest-running war in the history of mankind, and this government and every other country is no closer to winning it than they were 20, 30, 50 years ago, because people are going to take drugs, and if they're going to do it, and especially with marijuana, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it in the privacy of your own home, and you're not hurting anybody. Why not have government get tax money off us and make our economic lives much better?
Yeah, I've often said this. I've never heard one good argument for why marijuana should be prohibited. I've never heard one fucking argument that sounded good. I have an open challenge. I would love to debate like I got to on Geraldo. That was too short. That lady Mindy Guilfoyle, I would love to have some time to debate her. She had the view that Michael Phelps should be prosecuted for that photo. I'm guessing, Joe, that you probably aren't going to agree with Miss Guilfoyle.
First of all, let's take a look at that photo. And again, I haven't seen the clear copy of it. I've seen it on a computer screen. I've seen it on television. Is there even anything in it? First of all, there was. But, let's just look at it. He was just holding it up and having fun. Secondly, you got a bunch of guys in a dorm room in pot. You're going to prosecute for what?
And of course the opposers say, well, he should be treated just like anybody else. You would never, with anybody else, go searching out and investigate and find 8 other people that aren't even in the photo that might have been there and pursue them to arrest them. That's bullshit. And I really hope the sheriff there in South Carolina gets a lot of shit for it, because he's on a ridiculous agenda. And fuck him and fuck Kellogg's.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And what more people? Their sugary cereals that kids are eating from the time they're 4 years old. They end up with juvenile diabetes or diabetes when they're 15. Or somebody.
You're right. You're right, man. We're not going to miss something when you talk about it like that. I got Larry Moore from Tampa on the line. What's up, Larry?
Hey, RVD. What's up, brother?
Thanks for listening to the show tonight.
Hey, no problem. Hey, you're talking about coexisting. My better half and I have been married 41 years as of February.
Wow.
Congratulations.
And we've actually been together 45. I got out of high school 2 years before she did, and then, of course, the Marine Corps called me to go to Vietnam and stomp on some rice paddies and do a few things like that. But, we've been together 45 years, married for 41, and we had a plan. We decided to get married. We sat down and I said, okay, honey, this is how it's going to work. I'll make all the big decisions. You make all the little ones. in 41 years, there's not been one big decision.
Nice. I like that. Let's see. Hey, I guess it worked so far, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You talk about coexisting. I told her, and I tell them all the time, I said, I don't want any riffraff in my house. I don't want any arguing. I don't want any hard feelings, no bickering, no nothing. I just don't want to hear it, because I don't want any tension or any stress. And because it's useless. You don't get nothing out of it, but hard feelings,
Right. That's the thing is a lot of people, before they're looking for any kind of a love life relationship, just the way they treat normal people, the way they treat everybody that they come across, throughout the day, that is all practice for finding somebody, because basically that's what a soulmate is, I think. And Larry, you can tell me if I'm off here, but Sonia and I, like, when we say that we're best friends, it might sound cheesy. People go, oh, yeah, sure, your husband's your best friend, your wife. But really, I mean, there's actually no doubt about it. People that know me, they know that every day I spend all my days planning around being with her. And that's what we enjoy. That's what keeps us ticking. And none of my other friends are going to come between us. They always take second place. They know that. Everybody knows that. And so basically, isn't like when you find that soulmate, isn't it basically just a person, just another person that you come across in life, but it happens to be your favorite fucking person you ever met?
I think it is.
Well, you're right. I mean, there's nobody I'd rather spend my time with. And let me tell you this, there's nobody I trust more in the world than Sharon. And you know her. I mean, we've known each other for a long time. You know my wife, and Sonia knows her. Hello, this is RVD.
Hello,
and,
what's up?
Hey, hanging in a whatever.
Right on.
But you know what? There's nobody I trust more than my wife. I mean, if I can't trust her, then I can't trust anybody.
Now, so many of my friends, and not just in the entertainment business, but a lot of them specifically that spend a lot of time on the road, that are in the spotlight, they have a complete different life when they're not around their spouse. And I know that's got to be the last person they trust, and I know that they're definitely not trustworthy. So if someone's trusting them, they're getting screwed over. It's really kind of an ugly situation, and some people, that's what they want. They think short-term happiness or whatever. But to me, oh my God, I mean, that's the person that you're gonna cheat and lie and abuse and fucking the person that you got to live with, and who knows, maybe fucking raise kids with, share your house with, all that. That's the person that you want to put up a front with. That's the person that you want to have number 3 or 4 down the line of people closest to you. That's got to suck.
Well, it's ridiculous because, I'm sorry to cut you off, Larry. It is ridiculous because if you're going to spend your life, like I met my wife when I was in my late 30s and in her late 30s. And, we both were at an age like, okay, if we're going to do this, this has to be the right person because we've both waited long enough. And the thing is, if you're going to commit yourself and if you're going to let somebody into your life and want to be part of their life, you can't lie and cheat and be around. I guess you can. I guess people are made up like that. That's the point. I told her, I said, Elizabeth, I will never cheat on you for one reason. I don't want the drama, and if I'm going to commit myself to you, I'm going to commit myself to you. I'm not the type of person who's going to say, okay, let's get married and I'll go out and screw anything that walks. And she's the same way, and she's just, you're talking about fights with your spouse. You know what we got in a fight about last night?
No idea.
I'm going to spring training next week to cover, the games and the stuff down there and do interviews, and she won't come with me. I said, but I don't have a good time unless you're there. And so we got into this brawl about her taking some time off from work. We could spend more time together. I think that's a good kind of to have.
Right, yeah, that's so funny. I mean, the very few selective wrestling bookings that I'm doing now, all international, are mostly because I hate to travel, but I like to take Sonia somewhere she wants to go. We have a great time when we're overseas together, and we're really looking forward to this upcoming trip in France. But, dude, if it wasn't her and it was just me going, it would just be straight-up business. Right. And that would definitely change the value in it for me.
Well,
yeah, me too.
With my wife and I mean, there's no place I want to go unless she's with me. I mean, she's my partner. I mean, we both grew up on farms in South Jersey, and when we grew up, there's a different set of morals then than there is today. Kids today have a lot of stuff handed to them. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people out there that work hard, but we grew up, in a time where when you made a commitment to somebody, that was your commitment. Your word was your bond. And when I committed to Sharon, I mean, it was for life. And I don't want to do anything unless she's with me. I mean, wherever we go, we go on bike rides together. Whatever we do together, except work. I mean, we really couldn't do that a whole lot. But other than that, I mean, I do. We do whatever we do together.
Yeah, that's actually great. I mean, obviously you got a great relationship being together that long and still being happy. And I understand not everybody wants to be around that person all the time, and maybe they need time away, and maybe that person drives them nuts, and hey, I hate it for them, but still, it's about how you exist with that person, how you treat each other. And that has a lot to do with it. With all relationships, whether it's the person you're spending the rest of your life with, whether it's your fucking kid, and you got to relate to your kid, and you decide if you want to be the boss man that he fears and respects, or do you want to be more like a friend to him, someone you can trust. With the way you treat people has everything to do with fucking everything.
Even just a friend. It doesn't. You're talking about relationships, Rob. There's no question when you treat people certain way, you're setting a pattern to treat everybody that way, because eventually your true self is going to come out. You can be nice to 3 or 4 people. I'm not talking about business, because we all know business is a whole different animal. When you're in your personal life and you're dealing with somebody, if you treat them like an ass, you treat somebody else nice, eventually you're probably going to start treating everybody like an ass if that's your real personality.
Yes, I agree with that, and then you're not going to be too attractive, too appealing to a lot of people, unless you want somebody that likes being around an ass, which means,
right.
You're going to expect out of that. So, interesting. I got Joe McDonnell online. I got Officer X from Massachusetts. I got Larry Moore from Tampa, all married men, so we all know what it's like when it talks about the ultimate relationship, being married. I'm going to go to somebody else. Do you want to?
have a question.
Oh, Sonia's got a question for Joe McDonnell. Hold on, callers. I'll get to you. I see you.
Just totally off subject, but Joe, what is the future of talk radio in Los Angeles? Because they just recently took Rob's favorite radio station off the air, which was an FM talk radio station, and now we have nothing.
It's not good. Radio in this town is struggling. I mean, my contract wasn't picked up, as you well know, back in September. I've been doing, a little bit of fill-in here and there, and I've got a permanent job coming up. I'm negotiating. We're negotiating right now, but it looks like I'm going to be out of LA radio for the first time in 30 years. I'll be doing a national thing, which is actually better, but LA radio is the syndicated programs for the most part. These companies that own everything, and that's because of Bill Clinton's deregulation back in the mid-'90s. Companies like Clear Channel and Viacom and, some of the other bigger ones are going to own all the radio stations. I mean, Clear Channel, which is the company I last worked for, they own 1,200 radio stations around the country, and their ultimate goal is probably going to end up having one local show and everything else syndicated. That's going to be the end. Oh yeah, because what, you get no creativity and you get no focus on your home city. Like we all live out here, we want to know what's going on in LA. We want to know what's going on in Orange County. And the way the business is being run right now, it's not going to happen till they realize somebody's going to listen. And shows like this, networks like Blog Talk, and you're going to have so many internet radio stations popping up, and I'm about to start a podcast on my own website, joeonline.com, and cheap plug. And that's the way it's going to go, because people, I'm sure you guys know about this. Already starting to build cars that have broadband hookups in them, so you can get internet radio. And I believe
I had no idea. That's an exciting thing, because since they took off the talk radio, Rob was just asking me today, well, should we get Sirius radio? What should we do?
Yep.
Because that's really what he listens to.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I would say go with that one, because you'll be able to hear the new thing I'm going to do, so Sirius on that one. But, no, Joe. Yeah.
Hey, Officer X, you were talking about Sirius Radio earlier as well, right? Isn't that what you always listen to?
Oh, yeah, I love it. But I'll tell you why, because my real good friend had the top-rated afternoon show in our area for the last 14 years. He's in his late 60s, been on the radio forever, through the golden age of radio, and it sickened him the way it's falling apart. They let him go because he's been sick.
It's
right.
He wins the book every time, Joe, you know?
Let me tell you what they did to me. I did a evening sports talk show here after doing afternoon drive for 20 years. And I had a 3-year contract. The last year was the option of the management. 6 days before my contract was going to run out, 2 weeks before it was going to run out, they called me in and said, we're going to pick up the last year of your contract. We're not going to give you a raise. You know, in this economic times, I wasn't going to argue about it. I'm making decent money, so that's fine. 6 days later, they call me in and they say, you know what, we decided not to pick up your contract. We're going to put a syndicate in your place. Here's your severance check. Have a nice life. I mean, that was literally what was said to me in the office there. And again, I've been in this business for over 33 years, so nothing surprises me. But, you know, as a human being, I was like, wow, you couldn't have done it in any classier of a way than that. What you just said about the guy in there, it's ridiculous. And they all think that you have to be 20 years old and screaming on the radio in order to make an impact on the audience. But you know what the audience wants? They want to be entertained, and they want some information. And you can be 70 years old and be able to do that.
No, I totally agree. I felt gypped as a longtime listener of talk radio of 97.1 that they told us 2 days before they were leaving the air that they were leaving the air.
Yeah, and you know something too, Sonia, about that? There were people that they were making a lot of money. And CBS has been changing a lot of radio stations around throughout the country. They've changed a number of stations on their FM that were doing this kind of talk into sports stations. And out here they decided to do what they're calling amp radio, and I guess it's basically, you know, Beyonce and, you know, that type of music that's going to go on there. And
that's BS radio, not amp radio.
Right, it is BS. Anything that's cheaper to do, that's what they're going to do. And I have to laugh when they say, well, this is all dictated by the economic times we're in. Well, you know, part of it is, there's no question about that. But also part of it is some of these guys who run these companies saw it as an opportunity to get rid of people and cut salaries because nobody was going to question them. They're going to say, oh, yeah, well, it's economics. No, they just want to make more money. And can you say that's wrong? No. It is. This is a capitalist society, but can you say it's morally right? Absolutely not. And people are just, you know, again, I can't wait. Samsung or Sanyo is making like a boombox type of thing. In fact, it may already be out, where you can pick up internet radio without hooking up into the internet. And once those things become popular, and it's going to take a while, you're going to have such an alternative to regular terrestrial radio that these people are going to be forced to go back to local programming.
Do you think it's possible we could go to extraterrestrial programming?
You know what? I think some of them are. Especially when I'm on the air.
Hey, Joe, I have a question for you.
I'll tell you, terrestrial radio sucks.
A question. Someone's got a question for Joe. Who is that?
Hey, Joe, Robin, it's Larry. I have a question for
Joe. Hey,
Joe.
Larry, you're still there. Ask away.
Hey, Joe, you're in sports radio, right?
I'll answer for him, yes. Yeah. Hey, where'd he go?
Right?
Oh, Joe, can you hear Larry?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, Larry was asking about you're in sports radio, he says, right?
Yeah, I've done sports, and I also did, up until I got let go by Clear Channel, I also did a political talk show on the week. In fact, I was the only major host in a big time market that, and you know, I was able to do both.
I just wanted to let you know that the buzz here in Tampa is the fact that the Buccaneers have let Derek Brooks go today.
Yeah, they waived him, Joey Galloway, and somebody else.
Ike Hilliard, Warwick Dunn, and Cato June.
Yeah, every one of them, I believe, had been in the NFL for at least 12 years. And, you know, with Gruden gone, I'm sure that was part of the deal down there. I also hear they're flipping a radio station down in Tampa that they're going to go all sports. Maybe already have down there that they're changing. I think a guy named Dan Cilio was on it or something.
Hey, Dan Cilio is on 6:20 a.m. in the morning, and then he's followed by Ian Beckles and Ron Diaz. But on the 10:40 a.m., which is ESPN Radio, they have the fabulous Sports Babe on there.
Oh, she's.
All right, I just muted Larry because you guys hijacked my show, but I appreciate that. I got to go to a call here. Sabu, what do you think about that one football player getting kicked off that one team in that one town in Florida?
That one time.
I didn't know about it.
Yeah, I just found out myself. I'm pretty floored, brother. Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. Big Joe, I muted you. I meant to mute Larry Moore. That's what happened there. That was weird because I thought Joe would respond and I would be like gracefully, okay. Sorry, Joe, if you had a response there, nobody heard it because I accidentally muted you. That's what happens when you put a wrestler on the switchboard.
Hey, I'm just here as a guest and enjoying listening to everybody. This is fun.
Yeah,
this is a talk radio show. It really should be just everybody in a free flow of ideas. That's the most compelling thing you can do.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's we end up talking about everything anyway. But Joe, say hi to Sabu who just joined us.
Sabu, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good. I'm doing very well.
Hey, all right,
in fact,
Sabu.
you want to know my on my computer is a picture of you, me, and RVD that was taken at RVD's store when you were in there signing autographs.
Oh, I'm sorry then.
He's sorry. Hey, Sabu, I'm gonna boycott Kellogg's and not buy Kellogg shit anymore because they boycotted Michael Phelps. Any opinion on that?
What do you mean Kellogg's?
Kellogg's dropped their sponsorship from the Olympic fucking 14 gold medal winning Michael Phelps, who could be arguably considered the greatest athlete in the world. And when he got busted because someone took a picture of him holding a smokeless water pipe, Kellogg's dropped him. They didn't drop him when he had a DUI because alcohol is socially acceptable, even though it kills, as you know, hundreds of thousands of fucking people a year. And you know what I always say about marijuana? No one's ever died from it. However, Kellogg's decided they want to keep people in the dark about that. They want you to think that marijuana is bad and evil and dirty, so they dropped them. They don't want to stand behind them anymore. They're the only ones that did that.
I didn't know that. That's too bad.
Yeah, so a lot of us advocates, and not just advocates of marijuana, but just advocates of the truth, people that want the truth to come out and want honesty, a lot of us are boycotting Kellogg's. I want it to hurt their pocketbook. I want them to know because, who greater could they have fucking put the boots to make an impact on the world than Michael Phelps, man? The world loved him. Did you see that after he won the swimming competitions? He was on every talk show. He was on every commercial. Everyone loved him. And a lot of them feel let down and disappointed now just because he had that water pipe. But the only thing that changed is that they know something that they didn't used to know. They know that you can smoke pot and be an Olympic fucking champion. You can smoke pot and be a wrestling fucking world champion. You can be a baseball player. You can be the fucking president. The last at least 3 presidents said they smoked pot. And they want people to not focus on that.
Did Coke.
Okay, George Bush did Coke, baby. They want people to not focus on that. Instead, they want people to see the commercials that tells you if you smoke pot that you're going to sink between the cracks in the cushion of your couch and not be able to get up. I say fuck Kellogg's. What do you think, Sabu?
I think it sounds like bullshit that they dropped him. It's not fair to him, because he smokes pot. There's worse things than that, that's for sure.
That's for damn sure, and, the DEA will tell you the opposite. They'll say there's nothing worse. They say marijuana is the number 1 Schedule 1 controlled substance, which means the most harmful to your body with the least possibility of it having...
No, I think they said that because it's the most used.
It is the number 1 cash crop in America, and since you bring that up, Sabu, here's something I'm sure you don't know. They're in Sacramento. They're talking about legalizing marijuana here in California to help the budget.
Really? Sweet.
It's honestly got a serious chance now of going through, and when it does, if it does, I'm going to do my part to bring as much attention to it as I can. It's going to make some major change. All these people that are like, oh, you waste your time. You hurt yourself talking about that pot. No, you hurt a lot of people hiding pot. It can help a lot of fucking patients going through chemo. My wife and I can tell you firsthand, we saw dozens, if not hundreds of people wasting away that it could help. Besides that, anyway, no one's ever died from it. It's not fucking dangerous. It's better for you than alcohol, better for you than cigarettes. Kill 1 out of 2 smokers. Holy shit. So, yeah, that's the thing is, I just want people to know the truth.
Right on. I'm with you.
And, you know, 100,000 people approximately a year die from lung cancer. While all of it can't be attributed to cigarettes, the majority of it can be. That's what, when you hear the DEA come out and say some of these things, I've heard, you know, because you know I've done shows on this before, and I've had people come on and say, well, you know, it also ejects into the lungs and can cause lung cancer. You know what? So can cigarettes, so why don't you eliminate...
So Sabu, there's actually a very respected representative named Tom Amiano from fucking San Francisco, and he's in Sacramento. He's trying to get this legalized so that adults 21 years or over could purchase marijuana and smoke it, and they would tax approximately $1 for a joint, and he estimates that would raise like $1 billion to help out California's state economy. That's not counting the money they would save by not pissing away all the money to bust it, and also they're not taking into consideration how many more people would smoke it, you know, and they would turn away from their Vicodin, and they would smoke if that was considered an option, and if you know, and it would cause a lot of what I really want, research. Ever since Harry Anslinger told Mayor LaGuardia of New York back in 1941, I don't want these results seen by anybody, that marijuana's safe, that you can't die from it, that it's not addictive, it's not a gateway drug. I don't want anybody seeing your report. I'm stopping future government funding on marijuana testing forever. Ever since then, in 1941, we've never looked at it. We've never tested it to see what it can really do. If it's legal in California and adults are able to smoke it, we're going to do some serious look at it. Then we're going to have some questions answered. How much is appropriate? What difference does it make, you know, smoking all the different kinds of bud? And when is, when is the right time and when is the wrong time? And you know, what can you mix it with? We could actually have honest answers backed up by doctors for all that shit. And why the fuck shouldn't we?
Should I be a tester for that
Who
research?
stole the fucking dope?
Oh, dude. Thank you for fucking yeah, I'm sorry, Joe. You haven't been on our show a whole lot. I'm usually a lot more up on the sound bites.
Who stole the fucking dope?
Man. I haven't really been on the sound bites lately. You notice that?
Well, you see, I read a lot of stuff about marijuana, and I've seen a lot of shows about it, and they said there's no cancer-causing agents in the marijuana plant. That the cancer-causing agents in cigarettes are put in there intentionally.
Yeah, there's actually about 419, believe it or not, carcinogens, I believe, in the cigarettes, but I could be wrong. Is that what you're? But yeah, anyway, there's a lot. They have nicotine. They say is the most addictive drug, and you know, so many people that all of us know someone that says, "I want to quit, I just can't." Anyway, the fucking cyanide, fucking rat poisoning, paint thinner, formaldehyde, the shit that they put in dead bodies, formaldehyde. That's the kind of shit they roll into that cigarette for flavor. And if you want to smoke it, I do believe that's your choice. I think it's a silly choice. I think it's a slow suicide. You got 1 of 2, 50% chance of dying prematurely now if you smoke cigarettes. But based on that still, I still think it's your choice. But we're fooling society if we're trying to tell them, hey, this is cool. Cigarettes is cool, and high school kids should smoke it, and then marijuana is evil. We're just fucking fooling society, and that's what has been the case. Being an advocate for truth, I want to uncover that shit.
You know what the greatest argument would be for legalizing marijuana is to take 1934 film Reefer Madness, which I love watching.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the great comedy films of all time. You show that to kids today and realize how ridiculous it is. And you show it to people in the government and say, look, this is what they're telling us 80 years ago about marijuana. Come on, be sensible about it. Do your research. Understand nobody's going to die from it, killing people, lose their minds. I mean, people lose their minds without taking any kind of drugs.
Right, and, you know, it was outlawed for causing violence, promiscuity, and eventually, inevitably, you would go insane if you kept smoking it. So, you know, most people that I know that have seen Reefer Madness, they think it's funny, but they have no idea that that was actually used to scare people off of it. That was what that asshole Harry Anslinger used with William Randolph Hearst behind it, and the sponsors were the people that made Budweiser, and they fucking went town to town with this movie Reefer Madness to warn people, you got to get behind me, we got to fucking prohibit this evil, evil weed. Sabu.
Here's a pack of Budweiser, go get drunk on it.
Yeah, hey, Sabu, can I put you on hold for a second and get Dave's side of the story real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back with you. Joe, you're going to want to hang on for this one. We're going to change the subject here. Everybody beware. Beware, because we're going to talk to David DeFalco, writer, director, producer, and he's going to educate us on an incident that he has felt the need to call me every day on for the last week. He gives me updates on what's going on in his bathroom after Sabu was a house guest at the Dominion Monster Mansion.
One thing, I thought we were going to protect the identity of Sabu and refer to him as Azu. Apparently you didn't get my message.
I didn't understand why you were going to call him Azu. Now I get it. Should we call him Azu?
Well, we were going to call him Zazu to protect his identity because this is rather
Hey, Sabu's proud of his identity, and so am I. He's my Arabian brother. But
well, he ought to be proud because I think he pretty much unleashed the most lethal crap ever to hit, Los Angeles.
Now, Joe, I got Dave calling me last week, feeling the need to pull me out of whatever I was doing, to say, oh, my God, you should see what Sabu left, because Sabu stayed at Dave's house, and apparently, and then he left. Dave went to the wrong side of town set, and they were casting, and they were scouting locations, getting shit set up, and then they had to take a break. We're going to return to production in April for that. In the meantime, from what I understand, Dave went home to the Dominion Monster Mansion to find, first you said your place was flooded, then you called later, and you made it sound like somebody had taken a dump in your sink. And then you're talking about somebody coming over to clean it up with a hazmat suit.
Well, hold on, because... No, I have a handyman from Butt Crack Handyman that comes over, and basically he's tended to the property for years, but he was the first on the scene because I get real squeamish around stuff like that. I mean, the minute I realized...
Like what? What happened? Tell the good free listeners, the free thinkers of RVD Radio, tell Joe McDonnel and Officer X.
I'll tell you what happened.
Tell SVD what happened.
Well... If you really want to know, and I mean, I strongly suggest viewer discretion advised because, this is pretty brutal what happened. I mean, apparently, and I don't want to refer to the wrestler by name, but let's just say Zazu, the mysterious wrestler that was staying over here, pretty much unloaded in the bathroom. And what happened was, basically, I don't know how, this is like got to be the most potent crap ever taken because it managed to, while I was gone, somehow it managed to make its way from the toilet pipes to the sink pipes, and I mean, it kind of migrated, and then it caused this upheaval of water. So this was like the 10 Commandments. I mean, I got back, and the ocean parted, and, the sea came down, and the floods, and the animals, and then it literally went through the lower, it literally went through every level of this house. I mean, so basically, he crapped on the top level, and it went all the way through to the bottom level, and this is a 4-story house, mind you, which is now on the brink of potentially being condemned because I don't know if the money to. No, this isn't funny. I mean, this house may have to be condemned because of this.
Oh my God. Your house may have to be condemned because Sabu clogged up your toilet?
Well, ask Masters. Well, it's not just that. I mean, this was a lethal. This was like, it must have been a 10-foot long, turd that this guy. I mean, seriously, no joking here.
Hey, by the way, where is Masturbator? Do you know?
He was here earlier, and I showed him the destruction. And he was like, what, did Katrina come through here? I go, no, this was one of Rob's, friends that stayed here, and this was the end result. And I showed him the whole path of destruction right from, he said, he couldn't believe it. So I have him as an eyewitness, but like I said, I could get the guy that was here who literally was hands-on the crime scene, and I could get him on the phone, and you could hear it straight from him exactly what he saw, and
I'd like to hear straight from Azu.
Yeah, Azu.
Hold on, Dave. I'm going to put you on hold real quick, right. and then I'll be right back with you.
Okay.
Because I got all these phone lines here. So, hey, Sabu, does any of this sound familiar to you?
No, that guy, he's full of shit, and he's a faggot, and when I see him, I'm going to break his fucking twig boy neck. And if I did do that, tell him to press fucking charges, the fucking dick-sucking faggot.
Hey, you just changed this from being a lot of fun to being, like, real intense, like, real quick.
Because the guy's he's an asshole for saying that. I didn't destroy no property, and if I did, I would have took care of it. And I didn't shit all over nothing. He acts like he don't shit at all. He don't eat at all, that fucking faggot.
Oh, man. Well, see, that's why we wanted to keep his identity.
Hey, fuck you.
Hey.
Take me to court if I ruined your fucking house, you asshole.
I didn't say taking you to court.
Take me to fucking court. You wait till I see you. I'm going to kick your fucking ass. I'm going to make sure I destroy your fucking house.
Well, you don't have to worry about that. The house is in shambles.
Hey, fuck you.
Sabu, you need to listen to the show that we're doing now about coexisting and treating people with love.
Hey, fuck
him. Is that what the topic's about?
I didn't do nothing to his house. I left that house the way I got there, and that's the fucking fact, I swear to God, fucking truth. That dude, the fucking wannabe fucking faggot bodybuilder, dick-sucking asshole.
Hey, Sabu, first of all, I didn't refer to you by name. I didn't say it was you. I said there was an incident here, and it caused, some water damage. I didn't mention your name.
No, I guess that might have been me. We'll rewind the tapes. We'll investigate the whole thing.
Hey, troublemaker.
I know. My bad. I thought it would be
now
funny.
I get the shit because you had to mention his name. I never mentioned his name once.
Well, either way, I think I kind of think he would have been upset about whatever upset him either way. But all right, my bad. We'll put Sabu in the holding room and we'll talk to him later. But anyway, there's obviously some feelings there that I didn't detect, or I wouldn't have brought that out in the public. But deal was it seemed humorous as Dave was obviously coloring it up and exaggerating a bit, and it was entertaining over the last couple of days a little bit to hear all the updates, and I just kept saying, oh my God, if this energy is still alive on Wednesday we're doing the show, we've got to talk about it there, because I thought it would be funny, but apparently
the energy is alive, but I certainly didn't mention anybody's name in specific. So if you did that, then you should be the brunt of the animosity. Not
or maybe you're saying now that it wasn't him.
It may not have been, because all I know, maybe it was the forces of darkness. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know, because it's mysterious how it all happened.
The forces of darkness do shit in your house. I know that.
Well, it didn't happen while anybody was particularly here. It happened after the fact, so that's why, I didn't mention anyone's name. You took it on yourself to assume, it might have been somebody, so, I didn't mention any name.
Okay, well, my bad.
Other than I referred to a mysterious whatever as Zazu, so that, meaning I don't know who it was. Just because somebody might have been here beforehand, I mean,
God. I feel the love just re-entered the room.
Yeah, so if anybody should be getting yelled at, it should be you, Rob, because you're the one that, I didn't mention.
You asshole.
Huh? I didn't mention your name.
It don't matter if you mention my name. I know who the fuck you're talking about.
What do you mean? You haven't even heard what I said.
Asshole.
I'm sorry, but come on. Hey,
Bob did all the talking, not me. I just said.
Hey, I didn't shit anywhere, and
yeah, it might have been you.
If you
I don't know who was here while I was gone.
If you watched last week's RVD TV episode, you'll learn that I lift the seat when I pee. I lift it with my foot, and I flush the flusher with my shoe too. It's all part of my martial arts training, getting ready for this big movie.
Oh, good. You're gonna need it.
I'm very clean in the restroom.
Yeah. Good. There's no more restroom anyway. That's all taken care of.
So the house is condemned.
Well, the house was on its way out anyway. But
people were hurt. Relationships were fucking exhausted.
No relationships were exhausted.
We're talking about relationships today, man. I've got Michael Porter on the line who's been on hold like all fucking night. I'm letting him through. What's up, Michael Porter?
Hey, RVD, SVD, everybody. How are you doing tonight?
What's up, Mike?
Hey, dude. Are you listening
Boy, Rob,
to this?
I have to follow that.
I have to change it. It doesn't seem like it was funny by everybody. I'm not sure.
I'm not really mad because he knows I didn't do nothing like that.
No, Sabu, I never said it was you. Rob did.
But I'm not really mad because I know I didn't do nothing like that. And
no,
you know I didn't.
I never said it was you. I said, this house has a lot of weird goings on. You know that, you know
and
that.
If I would have shit and made a mess, I would have cleaned that fucking mess.
No, that's not what happened. I mean,
I know it's not what happened. I was there.
Yes, but Rob exaggerated it, and and then I have to get the brunt of the
Well, you tried to embarrass me. That doesn't
I
embarrass me.
I didn't
That would embarrass. Wait a minute. Listen to me. That would embarrass me if it was true. But since it's not, I laugh it off. But when I see you, I'm gonna laugh off your fucking head.
I kind of thought it was funny. I didn't think you'd be embarrassed about it either, else I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have told him to call in and to bring it out on the radio.
Yeah, I didn't say nothing.
Hey, Sonia says she has to get a colonoscopy in April, and she's not embarrassed about that at all.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I've had those. I've had colonoscopies.
Listen,
no problem at all.
I had to get a special toilet for my bathroom.
I gotta be a nice guy. I'm not no nice guy no more, you fucking dick.
I think we ought to get out of the bathroom.
Who are you giving shit to? Me? I didn't say a word.
You asshole.
He was the one on the air. What are you yelling at me for?
Sabu, you are a nice guy. You're just pretending you're not. We know you're a nice guy.
Yeah, he's pitching at me like I'm the one saying it. Rob said it. I didn't say a thing.
I don't think that Sabu wants to stay at the Dominion Mansion next time he's in California.
I'm gonna fucking destroy that dude.
Look, I didn't say a word. Stop getting all medieval on me. Well, you know what?
Michael Porter, you weren't in Dave's restroom, were you?
I was not. What?
You were not in Dave DeFalco's restroom. That's correct, right?
I haven't been down in Southern California since I was with the WWF.
Well, hey, listen, since you are in California, have you heard about this bill that they're trying to introduce in Sacramento about legalizing marijuana?
Yes, I have it. I think that would probably be the best thing that hit California since Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The marijuana annual cash income currently, I guess it's like 6 or 7 times what we make in vegetables from growing vegetables in California, and that's while they're while it under the watchful eye of Big Brother trying to put his thumb down on it. So
well, if you think it was, or do you think that if pot was legalized, that we'd get a lot more youngsters entering 4-H?
4-H. I don't know what 4-H is. I'm sorry.
Well, it's
4-H.
That's basically a lot of
4-H. Some of that cream that Azu had to put on his ass after.
That's preparation H, I think.
Azu. Okay. I don't know.
No, it's like for future farmers. Maybe it's FFA, Future Farmers of America. Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
Not BFF. That's something different.
Best friends forever? No.
So, yeah, I think a lot more people would be into the business end of it, farming, vending, distributing, absolutely, dispensing it. It would be served at, you'd be able to pick it up at places not where they serve alcohol, from what I understand. It's not like you'd have to go to a special place to get it. It wouldn't be, you know, a lot of people are afraid, oh, no, I don't want my kids, you know, to be in a gas station buying candy and see a pack of marijuana joints. It wouldn't be like that. It would be a special marijuana selling place. And damn, if Obama says he leaves it up to the state and the state decides it's going to do that, I think a lot of people would move here, too. It would be a big draw, and it would really set a precedent for the rest of the country.
Well, not only that, but just, you know, you just have to think on, you know, how much it would help the economy out here, you know, as far as the budget deficit that we've been going through for, you know, for months. And I think it would help. It would help the government out here. It would help the state. It would help individual cities and counties as well.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, hey, what do you think about the way Dave and Sabu are coexisting and related?
I just hope that neither of them are pissed at me. I'm a nice guy.
Might have to end up in a steel cage match. I don't like being yelled at.
There you go. Now you're going to fire them up again.
I you're having a fucking toilet match.
I always get bitched at for stuff I didn't even instigate.
Toilet seat on a pole match.
Yeah, hey Dave, did you hear anything about this that they're trying to legalize marijuana? Because it's brand new news. Like as of yesterday, it went out everywhere, radio, TV. Heard on Leno.
He's gay. You don't care. He's gay.
They might have mentioned it on the Logo channel too. Which, by the way, I got to put this show over. If you guys haven't seen Nitro Circus, it fucking rocks. It's like the most entertaining show on TV. It's a lot like Jackass without the gay. And
what?
It's a lot like Jackass as far as like the stunts, except for they're way better. They're professional, all like extreme skaters, bikers. They do crazy shit, but they don't look up each other's asses like they do on Jackass. I mean, that Logo, the gay channel, should rerun the reruns of Jackass as much time as they spend, you know, holding each other's balls on that. It's a funny show, but this one, Nitro Circus, you should look for it. It's on Sunday nights. And Travis Pastrana, he was the first guy to do the double backflip on a motorcycle. He's fucking nuts. And they go, and not in front of an arena with 5,000 people. They're in their backyard, and they're doing backflips on tricycles and in the dirt patch. And they miss their target and like drop on the ground and they crash all the time. This guy jumped out of an airplane with no parachute. And then met up with his buddies, like way down, you know, who had chutes. And he hydroplaned on a motorcycle across the lake. I didn't know you could do that shit. I thought that was just for movies. Hydroplaning a motorcycle across the lake, jumping out of an airplane with no parachute. But this guy does it on Nitro Circus, Travis Pastrana. And I find the show like endlessly entertaining. The biggest fucking ramps and all kinds of shit you could think of. I heard him on Tonight Show last night say on an upcoming episode he does a flip in a monster truck.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. Everybody, some of the people in the chat room said that they saw it. They said go to jackassworld.com. I don't know, the Jackass guys, they help produce it, but it's not gross stuff. It's all like amazing stunts and awesome slides and I can't believe these guys aren't dead. I swear I see them die several times every episode. They went up in Las Vegas. They went up to the Palms Hotel, to the Ghost Bar, and they ran out the window and jumped in, I think it's called a base jump, where you jump off, you know, with a parachute, and they just fucking ran, like, right in front of everyone outside that's just looking over the edge, and it just totally, like, ran and jumped off and fucking hit their chute, grabbed their chute when they landed, pulled it up, and, like, took off in a van. They're crazy. I used to think I was a thrill seeker. Well, I was, but that meant something different when I was a kid. I bungee jumped. I skydived a couple times, you know, and I used to like, you know, risky shit, but not like that. Not where there's a damn good chance you're gonna die, and you do it all the time to statistically keep the odds in favor of death. You know, hey,
they're professionals though. They know what they're doing.
Oh, my God. You should see this show, though. Look for it, Nitro Circus. Hey, Joe McDonnell, I noticed you're still on here and you were under mute, so I just took you off mute. What did you say over the last however many minutes you were on mute?
Oh, I was just laughing at the whole taboos. You should do a plunger on a pole match.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Yeah, man.
I didn't do nothing.
Talk radio.
I didn't do nothing.
Hey, Sabu, did you see Obama's speech?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. It was pretty good. Dave, did you see Obama's speech?
No.
What do you say? Going to be a chicken in every house or something? In every pot?
I don't know. Something, I don't know. From what I understand, basically those of us who, I want to get Officer X's opinion. Did I just lose? Officer X, are you still on with us? No, he's not. He always like every Wednesday, like halfway through the show, he texts me and says, "Hey, am I on mute?" And he's not on mute. All right. Anyway, man. I wanted to get his opinion on this, but anyway, oh, there he is. You're fucking there, Officer X.
What's up, bro?
Okay. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling you're going to disagree with me on this. I don't know why, so I want to know. It seems like Obama's plan to help out the economy is that those of us who were responsible and who were good with our money are basically bailing out the rest of the country. Does that sound right?
To an extent.
Because, everyone is bitching about, and we talked about greed on the show before. We talked about power. We talked about greed. And greed was, that's when, you want so much shit and you don't care about other people. Okay, I'm hearing the word greed thrown around a lot now when it comes to our economy. They're saying we're in this shit because the bankers were greedy. And most of what I'm hearing is they're saying that people were greedy for getting loans for houses they knew they couldn't afford. I don't believe that. I think that people were suckered into getting loans for houses and that they were talked into it. Like they believed that they could afford it. But everyone's saying, no, it was greed. It was greed. Everyone knew they couldn't afford that big of a house with no interest, no payments for so long. And it was greed. They all did it. They all knew this was going to happen. So here we are. We got to deal with it. First off, I don't believe that. I don't think they saw it coming. I think for sure that we're fucked because of the Federal Reserves. Ron Paul says, that nobody's even talking about that. I have to agree with them. But when, what about, I talked about, and Joe, you weren't on the show before, but I was talking about power and greed, and I was saying, what about, I want a lot of things? Is that greedy? Like, if I want a big house, and really, I want to win the lottery, and I want 10 big, fat houses. I want a big castle under the Hollywood sign, but I want that. I'm a dream chaser, I have big visions, and I go for it, and I make my dreams come true. Does that make me greedy? Much to my surprise, most people said no. Most people said no, that's not greed because, you're still cool to other people, you don't hurt anyone, whatever. Okay, if that's how you feel. But now they're saying that people were greedy for getting big houses. No, they weren't. So right now, people that make a lot of money that are successful are going to get fucked. And then everybody else, the people that aren't successful because they don't, for whatever reason. A lot of it's because they don't try as hard. They got low goals in life. They whatever. But those people are all going to be saved. Like, you people get a tax break. You'll see no increases. I'm going to have more jobs for you. I'm going to have a maid in every one of your fucking houses and fucking free 900 sex lines for everyone that makes under 40 grand. I think that, where's the reward for those of us that were smart with our money, that were responsible, that could be off TV for a year and a half, have the big house on the hill and still turn work away?
Well, I think what it was financial entrapment, and these people knew that eventually it was going to blow a flat tire, and they didn't care. As long as they could make their money, they didn't care what happened to the people that they suckered into getting these houses. And now you're having a situation where people don't have the money, and now you got to for auction. You're going to end up selling them for less than half of what they're worth for the most part. So now everybody's starting to lose. The people who are out on the street, the banks, the loan companies, everybody. The ones who should be prosecuted are the ones who allowed this to happen, because if they should be prosecuted, number one, allowing it to happen, and number two, who are stupid enough to not see what happens, they should be prosecuted for stupidity.
Yeah, okay. One thing that really bothers me is they put the line at $250K, and they act like that's a hell of a lot of money. And I guess it sounds like a lot of money to a lot of people, but I mean, it's like, and Obama says it like this, those that make $250,000 or above, that's $250,000. They really make it sound like you're loaded if you got that money. Well, as people know in California, at least a couple of years ago, the average middle-income house was almost $700,000. That money doesn't go that far. If you make $250K and you give almost half of it up to taxes, at least a quarter of it to the Federal Reserve, which is a bullshit tax to pay the actual bankers that fucking started our whole corrupt currency system, and then what do you got left? So now you got like 125, and if that's your single income to a house, and you got a family and a decent house, and you live out here in California, you're not a big fucking factory. You're not a big conglomerate business, big multi-corporation the way that they make it sound. You're fucking not, And what if, it may be something when you draw the line there where if you make $200,000, you might be better off staying right there getting a tax break instead of making that extra $50,000 where you're going to get fucked for half your money.
Hey, you know what a lot of it came down to, though, Rob?
What's that?
It was this predatory lending bullshit. I remember when we were doing our house over a few years ago, this mortgage broker tried like hell to get me to get one of these interest-only loans. And I remember the conversation with him. He's telling me, you can invest in the difference, you can do this, you can do that, we can get you this much money. I said, you can give me that much money, but I can't fucking pay it back. And if you didn't have...
That's Officer X's music. That's Officer X's theme music. The timing of it sucked, but the thought was there.
Hey, but the thing is about that deal is those people ain't in the business to give people houses and to make them money. They're in the business to make themselves money.
That's right, Daddy.
Work is what it was. They were selling the loan from person to person and moving the money around, and no one actually knew. When people used to go to the local bank down the street and take a mortgage out and put 20% down out of their pocket, they didn't have this problem. But now everyone's selling notes, selling loans, selling this, selling that, and every time the money moves, somebody puts money in their pocket. That's what this all comes from.
We are fucked. I'm going to go to David from Sacramento. What's up, David from Sacramento? How you doing tonight?
I am doing great.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Sacramento has been much the topic today, talking about getting marijuana legalized.
I know. It's just great having my city on the map.
Is that big news there?
Yeah, we're all just past Sacramento, and then Night of Champions is going to be here in April.
Right on, man. Well, cool, dude.
So
420 is in April, too. Get ready for celebrating 420, a favorite holiday.
Plus, I heard Terry Funk is going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Hippie crowd. All right, dude. Cool, man. Well, shit, man. We're talking about Coexisting. We're talking about Michael Phelps. We're talking about Dave's toilet. We're talking about cloth.
Before I say anything, I just gotta. I found this for you. I'm gonna play it real quick.
Well, of all the names.
That's basically what I think about that whole Sabu Dave thing, man. I was going crazy about that.
Yeah, that's what you get on RVD Radio.
Yeah.
RVD Radio.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. But that whole Michael Phelps thing, man, I think the reason he was covered is just like basically the whole kitty image of that one cereal brand. Yeah, man, that's basically it. Because, they were doing the same thing that a lot of the companies that has an image that protects kids, like Disney and stuff. If their teenagers start doing too much wacky stuff, then they let them go.
Right. And besides, fuck Kellogg's, because they don't have Blueberry, Count Chocula, or Frankenberry.
They lie to you right on the freaking box. Like when you get your cornflakes box, it'll have the strawberries in the bowl, but there are no strawberries in the box.
It's an implication. It's a false implication, huh? Like, yeah.
And they don't use coconut oil.
Hey, you know what? Because I grew up in the Cereal City, a lot of you probably didn't have this in school, but we actually had somebody visit our school that was from a representative from Kellogg's, and one of the things on career day or some bullshit, but they tell you how they make those pictures for the covers of the boxes, and a lot of times that's not milk, it's fucking glue. They fucking pour glue, like Elmer's glue on the cereal. They said it photographs better like that and shit. At least that's how it was 20, 30 years ago when I was in high school, or whatever school. So that's a little info for you. Look at this, baby. Let's go to Nikki Heyman, see what's up with NH. What's up, Nikki Heyman?
How you doing, RVD, and everybody else who happens to be listening this evening?
Hi, Nikki Heyman.
We're doing good, man. We've got like about 20 minutes left of the show, so I'm going to try and take some of these calls. Thanks for holding for the entire hour and a half.
Thank you for helping out while we were off the air.
Oh, no trouble at all. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
I did want to make a comment about the Michael Phelps thing. I know that's a minor thing compared to all of the other shit flying around here, but that's going to save me from Sabu killing me. Rob, remember, when you first of all, I got this. Isn't Frankenberry and Blueberry and Count Chocula General Mills cereals? I don't think those Kellogg's are General Mills.
That was the point that I was making, was they're General Mills. Which actually, even though Kellogg's is Battle Creek, and a lot of people know that, they don't realize, but about 100 yards down the street is Post, and across the street from there is General Mills.
Okay. I know you're really up on this boycott of Kellogg's, and part of my point was already made with our friend from Sacramento. Realize that a lot of Kellogg's audience is the younger crowd, the one group of people that you would not advocate marijuana use to. I realize what the picture is, but Kellogg's is trying to protect their child audience.
And
the adults know better.
No, I can appreciate that, but I don't think that by dropping an endorsement for a guy that had a photo show up around the tabloids is really protecting the children. The way you protect the children is you explain the truth to them. Kids, you should not smoke marijuana. It's not good for kids. Your brains are like wet cement, and you don't want to play with that shit until it's developed. And when you are an adult, currently there are legal consequences to smoking marijuana. You tell them the fucking truth. That's how you protect your kids.
I understand Kellogg's position on that, and it's a shame they're the only group that dropped him. You should be happy that they are the only ones who dropped him, because 5 years ago everybody would have dropped him, and Black Beaches have been blackballed.
Well, it's everybody's moving in the right direction, and except for Kellogg's. So that's why I personally am going to show my support for the cause and not for Kellogg's, because as you said, not everyone else is dropping them. And you're right, years ago it would have been worse, of course. Hell, if you went 70 years ago, people would have believed that marijuana could have killed him and that he was crazy, and they would have locked him up. Shit, in Texas, they lock you up for one fucking joint. A lot of people don't realize that. They say, well, I think, it's really like considered not that serious anymore. Bullshit. It depends on where you are. If you're in South Carolina, you can obviously get arrested even when you weren't caught, when someone says that you were at a party fucking months ago. So the laws are, and the education is complete bullshit on that. And Kellogg's is slowing us down, trying to keep us in the dark. And therefore, they are stopping progress. They are the ones that need to change. And I definitely appreciate what you said. Yes, it's kids are going to eat it, whatever. I mean, he's on the cover of a Wheaties box or whatever. That's not the same thing as, it's not like he's inviting kids to fucking smoke pot. I definitely don't see it that way. So, Nikki, you had a terrible echo, so I had to take you off. I don't know why we had a shitty connection there. which has been the problem a lot tonight. Joe McDonnell, thanks for being on. He also left, sent me a text that he had to go, and he had that echo, too. I'm going to check with Andy from California, calling from the 909, and hopefully you don't have an echo. What up, Andy?
Bro, I forgot a lot of shit.
You forgot what you were going to say?
Rob, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, tell Dave I'm sorry for shitting in his sink. I should have shit in his bed.
Nice. All right. Hey, Dave, are you still on there or no?
Yeah, I'm still on.
Okay. All right. Hey, Andy, did you remember what you were going to say on RVD Radio?
No.
Say hi to Sabu, say hi to Dave DeFalco, hi to Officer X, Harry Slash, Nikki Starr, fucking, who else we got here? I said that, Nikki Heyman. Hey, I tell you what, we've only got about 15 minutes or so left of the show. Sounds like I'm saying goodbye already. However, I am not. I'm just moving on from Andy because Andy doesn't know what he wants to say. But Sherry's enjoying the show because it's awesome. Well, this is a regular caller here. We'll go to Mr. Billy B. Also, a regular MySpace sender, too. He sends you MySpace mail, right, Billy B? Me too. What's up, Billy B?
Not much, man.
You listening to tonight's show, man? It's a crazy show. All kinds of topics, even toilet talk.
That's all true.
Hey, how about that Octomom, Billy B? Oh, the chat room's going to go crazy on me. No, don't talk about Octomom. No. All right. Hey, Sabu, what about Octomom? Come on, it's fair. He wasn't here last week, and I got to know his opinion.
What's Octomom? What did you say?
Octomom, this lady out here in California had 6 kids through in vitro, and then she went and had 8 more, so she's got 14 kids.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, she's a crazy situation, but America wants to hang her. They hate her. They're giving her death threats. My producer's throwing her shoe at TV when she sees her.
That's because she had 6 kids, and she was taking fertility drugs. And she can't get the kids she's got.
Well, what it was she got in vitro fertilization. She actually had the embryos, put in, and it was totally science. But she didn't know she was going to have that many. You kind of double your chances by putting more in. But either way, she wanted a bunch of kids, and everyone has her whole future planned out as being doomed. Everyone's just like, no, she's never going to do that. She's draining my pockets. And anyway, I just wanted to get it. Last week, I drove everybody crazy about it because I disagree with all the haters on it. Me and Masters were talking about going and doing a signing for her, but because she lives here. But that would go against my point. My point is she's going to make it work, and then she's going to have her dreams come true, and she's going to say, fuck everybody.
Right. You're a hypocrite.
How is that? I am not a hypocrite, but I would love to hear you explain how you see that.
Because you're too fucking lazy to go down there with your card table and your pictures and put your money where your mouth is for this fucking lady.
If I did that, it would totally be only a publicity.
Why don't you have Octomom baby at El Casa Van Dam and had all the kids over swimming, playing with the Van Gaminator and all, swinging from the heavy bag and all the other shit?
I like that. Hey, really, Nikki says someone offered her a porn and said they'd give her $1 million, man. Now, if she chose... No, she did, baby, look.
Right there. Okay.
Don't know. I'm not saying where the source is, where she got it, I don't know, but that's how it gets me. Anyway, she got a $1 million, allegedly, offer to do a porn. Now, if she did get that offer, what if she did that? Shouldn't she, in a capitalist society, have the right? If somebody else can do a porn, why can't she? And if she can take care of her babies because she's got $1 million, she can say, fuck everybody else for saying what an enemy to society I was, then what? I mean, is she all right? Is she the devil?
She can do whatever she wants, whatever. And no one has a right to tell anyone else how to make a living.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That's the way I feel. All right, what's up?
That would be a moral issue also, though.
What's that, Boo?
Doing a porno for money or not for money. That's a moral thing. That's not really a society thing.
Well, we can do a whole other show on that, but the thing is, anything that she can do, people were like, oh my God, I heard she has a publicist. Well, dude, she fucking can't look out her window without having her picture taken by 30 photographers, and if she has any opportunities, they're like, I heard she might do a reality show. That's wrong. She had those kids just to make money and capitalize on. That's wrong. I'm just saying, if her life interests a lot of people and she can capitalize on it to take care of her family, then she should do it. Instead, everyone else is like, oh, no. The hospital might not give her kids, by the way, because they are afraid she won't be able to take care of them. So it's a pretty fucked up situation. The world's fascinated by it, but there's a lot of hate,
Well, if she's got you and Masterpiece, I'm going to go raise her $15,000 some Saturday afternoon.
I think Sabu, too. I think Sabu might be on my side. Sabu, you don't hate her, do you?
No.
Your brother, when he called last week, he was a good addition to the show because he said he was one of 16 kids.
Well, yeah, my brother adopted 11 kids.
Oh, yeah, it's his kids, not one of. He adopted 11?
Yeah.
That's a lot of kids. I thought he
maybe even a couple more than that, maybe 13.
Okay, because I thought he had Octomom beat by what he was talking about last week, but either way, yeah. So we talked about that last week, and I found out, that a lot of the free thinkers don't think quite so freely when it comes to people and their parental, what's the right word? Responsibilities, I guess. I guess that's what it is. We got about 10 minutes left of the show. It's been a kick-ass show. I got some more callers on the line. I want to know what Billy D has to add to RVD Radio.
All this money that we're going to be borrowing to pay all these bills off?
Dude, come on. You're not going to notice a difference. I'm paying... Oh, no, Billy B isn't... Oh, no, he's in Mississippi. Okay, you're not even going to know. If you're talking about the Octomom, because that drives me nuts, here I am going to give half my fucking money that I make to help support people that can't make very much money, all people around the country, and this one lady that has a couple extra miles, you think that you're paying money to support her? Absolutely not.
No, I don't care about the Octomom. We're talking about the stimulus plan.
Well, good. I just wanted to make a point, just theoretically, in case that's where we were going, because a lot of people do go there that are in California. But so we're paying money for a stimulant. What do you think about that, dude?
I think if we legalize marijuana, it'll pay for Octomom's babies.
Yeah, it'll pay for everybody's babies. That's the great
no
point
shit.
About it.
No shit. Masterpiece didn't. Had not called in. Hey, will you call Masterpiece? Tell him to see if you can get him to call in.
He could be stuck in DeFalco's bathroom.
He was earlier. Yeah. I guess there was like construction signs up, and there was a detour to get around that floor and stuff. So he might not have made it out. I wanted to mention that Masterpiece was saying earlier that some of the numbers of marijuana, the largest cash crop in the country, how it blows away like 6 or 7 times how much our state makes in vegetables. It makes that in marijuana while it's illegal. If they legalize it, man, it could help. If California alone legalizes it and say we end up showing a $2 billion profit, some of the other states might catch on. What do you think, Billy B? What do you think about the states, the 50 states, the whole United States? And I mean, we're pretty fucked with the economy. But were you saying you don't like Obama's stimulus bill or what?
I do like that in the sense that if we do it like California, where everybody has to have a license, go to a certain designated area, you pick it up. That's great. Pay a little extra tax. I'll quit smoking cigarettes and just smoke dope all the time.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people are afraid of that, and then a lot of people think, that obviously that would be better. And, I know people that smoke cigarettes that smoke 2 packs a day. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's 20 cigarettes in a pack. That's 40 cigarettes. Believe me, in case you don't know, someone on the outside that is not marijuana savvy, if you're thinking, well, if people smoke joints all day like they do cigarettes, that would be horrible. We wouldn't get anything done. Let me explain this. If you smoke say 8 joints a day, that is a fucking lot. That is a lot. Are there people that do 10 to 15? Yes. Are there people that do 40? I would say no. I would say not a fucking chance. I don't see how people smoke that many cigarettes throughout the day. It's almost like they're not getting any clean oxygen inputs in between the puffs of cigarettes if you fucking are smoking that much. But anyway, with the marijuana, you usually smoke it like once in a while. And if there's a group, and you might pass a few around, but you always have to do the arithmetic there, which people don't do. If you smoke, say, 8 to 10 joints a day, that's considered heavy smoker by marijuana standards. But if you're smoking that with a friend or with your husband or wife, guess what? You have to divide that by 2. You don't smoke 8 to 10 joints. You smoke 4 to 5 joints if they're smoking half of it. Duh. People don't think about that. RVD wants you people to think. That's what I'm here for, to inspire you to. And holy cow, we've got just a couple of minutes left. And just sliding in underneath the falling door like Indiana Jones in the fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark is Dr. Sean. What up, Dr. Sean?
Hey, Rob, what's going on, man? How's the show going?
You know what? We always have kick-ass shows, Sean. I have yet to have what I would say is a bad show. Afterwards, Nikki Starr, Blog Talk Radio producer, always emails me, says what a great show it was. I say, I know, I fucking rock, I'm cool, and then I go to bed.
And I just walked in the door. I caught the tail end of your show. I guess I've been hearing about the lady with the 8 kids and the porno and marijuana. What's going on? What's the show about tonight?
Well, what happened was somebody took a shit in Dave's toilet.
It was fake.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to think it could have been you, Rob.
RVD, motherfucker!
And no one's owned up to it, Rob? Is that it?
That was one of the subjects, Sean. But what we should spend some more time talking about, I just want to tell you real quick, Sean, there's a real good possibility that California is going to consider legalizing marijuana for adults 21 years and over to stimulate our economy. There's a plan put together, and they're actually looking at it in Sacramento right now, so that's something I'm real excited about. It could really, and I've always told you, and I've told you, Sabu, and I've told everyone that's close to me, yes, I will see marijuana legalized. Why? Because I believe in the truth. I just believe in the truth. There's never been a good reason I've heard why it should be outlawed. Right now, while our economy is so fucked, Bill Maher brought this up the other day, too. Bill Maher asked Representative Ron Paul from right there in Texas, Dr. Sean, where you're at, he asked him on the Bill Maher show, he said, look, back in the day, in the 1930s, we ended alcohol prohibition because everybody in the country likes to drink alcohol, and there's a lot of money to be made off it. He says, in this country, we like pot. And Ron Paul doesn't like pot, but he's all for legalizing across the board. And I compare it to alcohol prohibition. It's still the largest cash crop in the country while it's outlawed. Back in alcohol prohibition, people drank anyway all the fucking time. The movie stars had their special little VIP places where they'd get together and drink. There was the bootleggers, the gangsters, fucking Al Capone, everybody was in on it. It was big, big business. Guess what? We can end the underground fucking drug dealing factor of marijuana, sell it in controlled dispensaries where adults can responsibly obtain it and have the right to do it. So anyway, that's something we're talking about. Sean, your opinion on that real quick.
Well, I think it's a good thing. You've always spoken about it, and it almost looks like that's where things are going, right?
If it comes to a vote, I would say yes. In Las Vegas, they tried this about 2 years ago or so, and it barely lost. The vote was it was incredibly. It was like 46 to 54. It was something really, really close. I believe in California has a great chance, and of course I'm going to do everything I can. Something else, Sean, I'm boycotting Kellogg's. Me and a lot of other people for them dropping Michael Phelps as a sponsor. They dropped their endorsement. They're the only ones. I think that they're trying to stop us from moving forward with truthful education. They're trying to keep us in the dark. He had a DUI, no problem. Alcohol's cool. Cigarettes are cool. Pot's not cool. That's going to change. It's going to change in spite of people at Kellogg's trying to stop us. and slow us down. Did you get a chance to see Obama's speech last night?
I watched parts of it, yeah, in and out. But hey, I just want to say, maybe if my patients smoked a joint before they came in, they'd relax and have better adjustments. What do you think of that?
Well, you know, I told you that my chiropractor out here wanted to put in a marijuana medical doctor because he believes that it really goes together with the whole wellness approach and treating the body, you know, organically, herbally, and he was going to have a doctor in his office like that. And he doesn't currently, like some plans changed or whatever, but I was trying to let him know what he was getting into. He'd have a whole entirely new list of clients coming in there to get their doctor's recommendation, but it was really cool with all his knowledge, and you know him well, Dr. Sean. You know him well, Sean. As smart as he is and everything, you know, that's how he looks at it, as being beneficial for, you know, for the wellness. So I was pretty.
Is this the same? Is this a mutual friend chiropractor that we know?
Yes, it's
okay.
Dr. Dave, absolutely.
Well, man, the world's changing, things are evolving. Maybe that's the way it's going to go. I know you'll be happy about it, and I'm kind of neutral on the whole idea, but, you know, I'm always open to new ideas, and we'll see what happens, man. Hey, is Sabu on the line there?
Yeah, right here.
Sabu, hi. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Who's this?
It's Sean Stasiak.
Oh, Sean Stasiak. What's happening?
How you doing, man? Last time I saw you was in Dallas about 4 years ago.
Yeah, I remember. I'm just shitting in the sink right now.
All right.
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, how's your dad doing?
My dad.
Sean's dad is a ghost now, but he does still talk to him, so I'm not sure how he's going to take that.
Actually, doing pretty good. He's a prankster, man. Usually around this time of the year in the spring, I feel his energy pretty strong. So he's doing awesome.
Hey, you know, one time he pissed in my uncle's boot.
That's right. Your uncle and my dad had they drew some big crowds, big houses in Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Detroit.
In case anybody doesn't know, his dad is Stan Stasiak.
Stan the Man.
Yeah, he spoke very highly of your uncle.
Hey, wasn't Stan the Man Stasiak like one of the very first, like second or third champion of WWF, Sean?
My dad was the fifth wrestler in the history of the WWF, which is today the WWE champion. But real quick, I know you're wrapping your show up. There was actually an original Stan Stasiak back in the 1920s, 1930s that actually died from blood poisoning in the ring. And when my father broke into business, they were trying to give him a gimmick name, and they said, "You look just like Stan Stasiak." And I looked up a picture on Google, and I'll be damned, he looks just like my dad. So there was an original Stan Stasiak.
That's right, Daddy.
In the 20s.
That's right, Daddy.
Yeah, but Stan
That's
Stasiak
right, Daddy.
used to have the heart punch, right?
That's right. And he used to battle the Sheik, the original Sheik, your uncle, all the time, man. Very high.
Yeah, I know. My uncle told me that Stan played a rib on him and pissed in his boot one time. I
heard he shit in the sink.
That's who shit in the sink.
RVD, motherfucker!
Hey, where's Officer X tonight?
I'm here, brother.
Hey, how you doing, Officer X? How you doing, buddy?
Good. Hey, what's up, Doc?
All right, cool, man. So, yeah, Sean, say hi to Officer X, say hi to Sabu, but now say goodbye because the show is over. So I'm glad you got to call in, Sean. Masterpiece, we didn't hear from. Sandman, we didn't hear from, but that's my bad. I was going to try and reach out to him today, and I did try, but I didn't get a hold of him. So.
Hey, Rob, I'm saying goodbye now. I'm flexing my right bicep, and I'm saying goodbye.
All right, man. Thanks for flexing your right bicep.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Come meet Officer X and Bob Backlund, March 27th in Danbury, March 28th, Hardcore Reunion in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Officer X and Bob Backlund.
Is there a website for that info?
www.wrestlingmarksmarx.com.
Okay, cool, man. We got a few more weeks to plug that, too, so we'll do that. So thanks, Harry Slash, Michael Porter. Thanks, everybody, Nicky Star, Sabu. And, that's about our show. It was another good one. Thanks for coming on. Say goodbye, baby.
Bye, baby.